everyone, I'm Alicia and this is Adventures of Stitching. Thank you for joining me today. I have an FFO, some January updates, and some February plans, so stay tuned and let's just dive right into it. So last time I did a whip parade, that was just a couple weeks ago, so I'm going to use that as my progress point. So anything before that, I honestly can't remember what I showed you and what I didn't. So we're just gonna start fresh with the whip parade and go from there. So I'm very excited to share that I finished my first piece like ever in the correct way. I finished my my Narnia piece and it's just kind of thrown into the frame. So I'd say it's an FFO, but I really should go back and do it correctly. But this time I used Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, her pinning to frame tutorial. I can't remember what it's titled, but hopefully I'll find it and link it for you. But I know there are a couple others out there and they kind of all do it the same way. It's really simple. Like if you're intimidated for framing anything, I was a newbie and I just dove right in. I got the supplies she said you needed and I just went to town, and I did it on linen. So I know like if I did it on Ada it would have been way more simpler, but I really like that I got firsthand experience the first time to finish this in the most difficult way so that there's nothing holding me back in the future. So anyways, I did a fully finish on His Name is Jesus, and here it is. There's going to be glare because I was able to use glass and I just didn't want to worry about dust in the future, so I did want the glass, but there it is. Yep, there we go. That's pretty good. Oh my goodness! I'm so excited. It looks really good. My husband hung it on the wall in our like kitchen dining area down here, and I'm just gonna leave it down here. It's gonna be the Florida piece. Who knows, maybe Ohio needs another one. So this is like a complete finish. I would not have done this if I didn't have a Flosstube. Honestly, I think it would still be just stuck somewhere, and I was like, I need to finish that because I need to show people that I can finish things. So if you ever need encouragement, maybe start a Flosstube. That'll help you get from start to finish completely. So I'm very proud of that. I don't want to like talk too much more about it, but that was a fun one. Putting the pins in was super satisfying for me. My fingers got a little bit raw by the end of it, of like repositioning and stuff and shoving them in, but it was fun. I had so much fun adjusting, so I don't know, I might have tons and tons of art on the walls now because I'll just be like looking for the finish. So instead of being intimidated and putting it off, I got it done and I enjoyed it. So yay! Woo woo! So next I'm going to share my heartfelt thanks. I didn't have a chance to do it in my whip parade, and maybe it wasn't much time for it, but Leanne from Small Town Stitches, you about made me cry when you were talking about our friendship and how quickly it just took off, and we have so much in common. And I don't know, I really treasure each and every one of you. But Leanne, thank you so much for that shout out. Like from the bottom of my heart, that made my day. I was like, I had a spring in my step. I was like, oh, that was just the sweetest thing. I couldn't believe how moved I was, and like it made me reflect on my Flosstube journey and finding new friends. And I just keep talking to my husband all the time, and I'm like, I just can't believe there are this many people that like cross stitch, and they're so like nurturing. Like if you are having a bad day, you have 5 10 friends who are like there for you. They're, you know, they really care. This is not fake. This is genuine. Everyone, it's like they're all momming you, and I love it. So hopefully I can do that in return. Just put the love back, you know, we'll just have this giant cycle of love. That got super sappy, I'm sorry, but I just had to share. I feel the same way, Leanne. You are very close to my heart, and I hope we can someday meet since our states are neighbors. So hopefully one day. And so that leads me on to some purchases. I got talked into buying a couple patterns, so I will show them here. The first one is called the Shire. It's from Etsy, and this is Leanne's fault. I didn't even know this one existed, so I was just happily going along my way, and then she goes, hey, look at this. I was like, half an hour later, I bought it. So thanks. I think Rainy got sucked into that too. Rainy Day Reads. Thank you, Leanne. So we're probably gonna start that at some point. Not sure when, but it'll be coming. Like I need another whip. Then, did I share? I did. I think I shared that I was, no, wait. Did I? I can't remember. We'll put it here anyways. But I got Church for All Seasons or Churches for All Seasons. And this is Angie's fault. I'm just blaming everyone today. But Angie is going to start this for her birthday this year on March 26th. And I just jumped on that bandwagon because I couldn't sleep. I actually lost sleep thinking about how I would miss out if I didn't start this with her. And lo and behold, there's like 4 others of us who felt the same way. So it's become a stitch along. If you want to do it, join in. The more the merrier. That one is from Charting Creations, and I don't know the artist. I'll probably link it below to make it easier to find, but it's really cool because it's like short, but it's really long. It's about as wide as a supersize, so it's like 900 stitches, but it's like only 200 stitches tall. So it'll be kind of fun, and I kind of want to see if I can do it seasonally, like start whatever season it is at the beginning and kind of work in to get the stitches in, and then each season just work through or work down, whatever, but work my way through the seasons as the seasons come. So it'll be like a seasonal stitch, but I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see if it turns out or works out that way. Then the Cross Stitch Studio, sorry, I had to think about their name for a second. The Cross Stitch Studio had a 5-year anniversary flash sale that was only for a day, but it was like 50% off all of their patterns. And I had this in the back of my head for a good 6 months, maybe. I wanted it so bad, but I was like, I'm gonna get it on a sale. Well, they finally gave me my sale, and I got Humility. It is Abraham Hunter, I believe. Yes? So you know I love Abraham Hunter because I keep finding his art everywhere, and it's somehow all landed on my wish lists like at different time periods, and then finally I made the connection. Oh, I must like Abraham Hunter. So his artwork is just incredible. It's so cool. But anyways, this one is probably not going to be a start anytime soon, but if you want to see it being stitched on, Tara from One Stitch at a Time is doing it, and she's been focusing on it lately. And I believe this kind of segues into something I'm meant to talk about anyways. She had this goal of reaching 7% last weekend. So she made that goal, and it looks incredible. It's a ton of blue for background, but it just looks so cool, and it's given me some feelings of Aslan and from Narnia, and Jesus when he was at the Garden of Gethsemane. That's a tongue twister. And so just like tying all of that together and just the way the line looks is so cool. So I'm not sure when, but that's also one I want to start, definitely. So when I buy patterns, it's not just like, oh, I love those. It's I want to intentionally stitch on this at some point in my life. So I don't have a huge collection, but it's building up. Trust me, it's building up. So then I wanted to let you guys know again that I have a birthday start planned. It's a Mirabilia, my first, and it's Lady of the Mist. Insert picture here. And my birthday is February 14th, and I didn't want to just throw it out there after I started, so I just wanted to give you warning that in a couple weeks I'll have that new start. And then there's a bunch of us, and I still think we need to compile a list somehow, because I think we have reached the point of like having too many to keep track of, that will be starting Home in the Mountains, which is from Golden Kite, and it's actually Rivendell from Lord of the Rings, and it looks so cool. I definitely got enabled for this one. I didn't see this coming, but everyone was so excited about it on Suki's live a few months ago, maybe just a couple months ago. Suki, the brown-eyed stitcher, and I know Catherine from Needleberry Stitcher, me, and like, I don't know, 10, 15 others are doing it. So if you're gonna start it, can you let me know or let Suki know, and maybe we can get a list compiled, because we don't want to miss any of you. It's gonna be extremely exciting to see all these starts. That will be on February 24th on Suki's birthday. So I'm beginning to realize there's a ton of February birthdays. Happy birthday to everyone in February. If it's your birthday, comment below and we'll wish you a happy birthday as well. Can we get into some stitching now? Like actually showing projects? I've been going through all kinds of blabbermouth news. It's all about stitching. So let's get into it. Let me see what I should start with. Okay, how about I start with what we did this weekend? I wasn't able to do not Whipgo. 24 hours of cross stitch. The weekend that happened, I had some family obligations that I knew was just going to take up practically my entire weekend. So I knew better than to push for stitching a lot that weekend. So I pushed it off to the next weekend, and Angie also couldn't do it the official weekend, and Rainey did, but then she also wanted to join in. So we were like the original 3, and we coined the hashtag weekend stitching extravaganza or stitching shenanigans, because there's like a couple times where we got to use both. And there were a good bunch of us. That was really fun. On Instagram, we all got together and we just kept sharing our updates and progress. And instead of it being 24 hours, we just wanted to stitch more than we usually would be able to in a weekend. So it wasn't as big of a thing, so you're happy with what you got done no matter what, no matter how much time you had in it. So for me, my goal was to hit, and this messed with some of you on Instagram, because I said I wanted to hit 40,000 stitches, and a lot of you read that like I was going to stitch 40,000 stitches in a weekend. No, not at all. That is like, is that even possible? I don't think so. Like, if you've done it, let me know. You deserve an award. No, I wanted to hit 40,000 in total on my project, and I think I was at 36,600, I think. So it was a giant goal, and I also got distracted. There were a couple things we had to run out and do, and Ken needed me with him for it, stuff for the house. So I didn't get as much time on it as I really would have loved to, but somehow I hit my goal at midnight. It was like a stitching miracle. So that was on Middle Earth map. I don't know if I said that. I'm sorry, I've been really like scatterbrained on this video. Let me find it. Here we go. So here's a picture of what it looks like before, and then a picture of it finished. Hopefully I can remember to do that for all my whips. I realize that is helpful if you're stitching. And here's where it is now. There's pages here. I just didn't want to take it out of the hoop, but basically what I got done in that weekend, I filled in this dark area over here on this page, just a little bit in here, and then I got all of that done. So that was like 3,500 stitches or something. So now I am at 40,200 stitches because yesterday I put 200 stitches in. It's supposed to be a daily 500 in order to reach my goal of having this completed by December of 2024. I've been slacking, but that's okay. So that's at 13.50% complete. It's on 27 count Linda even weave. Is that by Witchelt? I think that's Witchelt. And I started it sometime in 2021. I don't think people really care when I started things. I might leave that out because I have it documented in a journal myself. I doubt you need that in my video every time. So I'll leave that out in the future. So then I'm gonna go into my whip goes, which, where are the numbers? Hang on. Okay, whip go number 10. I have nothing organized. Sorry. Not organized, that's me, that's my life. Okay, so number 10 was called for whip go January, and that was Mickey. Thank you so much for all of your input on this on my last video. It helped clear a lot up for how I should proceed. So I'm just gonna call this Mickey Minnie at the Cottage. And my whip go goal for the whole year for every project is to work 8 hours on it. And it started out as like use it as a daily 30, but I realized that wasn't working to try to work on it every single day. So I figured up half the month daily 30 would be that many hours. So that's how I'm doing it. I don't know how many stitches I got in the 8 hours. But here it is. It's on 25 count opalescent Lugana. I really wish I had numbers for where I was last time. But anyways, it's at 27,956 stitches out of 125,972. It's at 22.19%. And I'm working 2/110 stitch on this. And that's going away for a while until it gets called again, because I'm kind of not feeling it these days. Okay. The other whip go was number 6, and it was Simple Pleasures. This is a Pain Free Crafts Chris Dunn piece, and I unfortunately need to take this out of my Q-snap, so bear with me. This is on 25 count Easy Guide Lugana, and I started this Oof. I don't think I started this for a sal, but it turned into a sal. So it's the Simple Pleasure sal. And I know there are a few of us on Instagram doing it. Oh, this is hard. Q snaps tight. And I'm doing this extreme cross country with color by color, like color completion. So that's why I have to take it out to show you what I've done. Otherwise, it won't make any sense to you. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, here we go. So there we are. Starting to show a little bit of a picture. There we go. This is 3371, so it's that really, really dark, like espresso brown color in DMC. And you can see like there's her basket here. I think I'm working into their couch, their sofa. I haven't done the vocal cue for the pictures, but they'll be up. Just gotta get into a new habit. So this one I've done 6,130 stitches out of 124,000. It's at 4.94% complete. This is 2/1 tent stitch with DMC. Oh, I kind of did, didn't I? I started this with Claire Woodland. Claire.woodland on Instagram. We started this together in like October, I believe. That one was also spun. I think I have this mixed up. That was not WhipGo. I'm sorry. That was the Wheel of Stitches, and Angie selected this project. I think is that right? I am all over the place. I can't remember anything. Yeah, that was the Wheel of Stitches. And I spun 1,000 stitches, and Angie, from Angie Slowly Crafts, she selected Simple Pleasures. And since I knew it was a quicker one, I went ahead and doubled it for 2,000 stitches. So I made that goal, and I think I only did like 100 extra. So whatever the number was that I told you is 2,000 more than the last time you've seen it. Basically. Hope you're sticking with me. You don't care that I'm a scatterbrain today. Okay, so Cozy, Winter Cozy Evening, the mini version from Heavenandearthdesigns by Uliana Babenko. That one was my other WhipGo. That was number 10. And this one I'm also doing extreme cross country, but this one's with 939, and I'm in a 939 hashtag group, I guess you could say, support group, because there's so many of us that have this color we have to do a lot of. So here it is. This one is 6,868 stitches out of 79,300 stitches. It's at 8.66%. It's on 27 count Linda. And these marks are just the water soluble pen that I gridded wrong and washed out, but not very well, so it like marbled a little bit. But yeah, look at that. I love this one. The way that the picture shows up, it's really fun, and I like the size. I'm really liking the size of minis. It's like I'm either into something really, really big, like the super size, or really, really small, because it's just like, it's cute. It's little. So, yeah. Let's do God Shed His Grace. This one is a stitch along. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a start along, but it's turning out to be a really fun stitch along. There's so many of us doing this. I'm actually going to just tag you guys in the bottom because I can't remember all the names in the moment. I have finally written them down in my notes, and there's like 7 of us, and if you still feel the urge or the nudging to start it yourself, go for it. Like, the more we have, the more exciting it is, because we all stitch different versions of this picture and from different areas with different methods. So it's just exciting because it's different every time. I work on this on Sundays, but not exclusively. Like this week, because of my weekend extravaganza of stitching and my goal I was trying to hit, I wasn't able to work on God Shed His Grace on Sunday. So the hashtag is God's Grace Sundays. And Angie pointed out I tend to do 0.5% each time I stitch on it. So I kind of lived up to that here. So this is at 2% exactly. And I am loving it. I love how moody the clouds are. They're just so like, I don't know. That's all I can think of saying is they're moody. Now what's really interesting is this is like a mauve. It's like a pinky gray. I was so shocked to see that show up. It's crazy, but fun. So this is 2/1 tent stitch on 25 count. Wasn't too sure about the coverage, but I actually really enjoy it. It just started out with such a dark color that it was a little thinner than I was expecting to see. But now that it's more of it's in there, and then several of you have said, hey, it'll fluff up and tighten up a little when you wash it when you're finished. So that gave me peace of mind as well. But that was the New Year, New Start. And I'm at 2,696 stitches out of 135,000. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's from Artisy, and it's the medium version, and it is Abraham Hunter. So I'm not doing very good with that. We're just not gonna even talk about it anymore. We're done. I wanted to cover this one. It's my my Big Toe Designs. It as well, and I was doing this as a stitch along with Tara from One Stitch at a Time and Rainy from Rainy Day Reads. I did coffee tea dye my fabric the first time ever, and I'm using the Gentle Arts thread, and it's in the color Oatmeal. This lighting isn't the greatest for this because you can't see it, but I have just a few more letters over here to do, and then I get to do the top border, so I'm probably 75% of the way done. But I love the way this looks. It's so pretty. I was telling Rainy today that she'll probably beat me. Tara already finished hers like before Christmas, but she'll probably beat me because I didn't bring all of my floss down with me. This is all that's left of the skein that I brought with me, and I don't know, I think it's like 4 strands. That's not going to be enough to finish, so I told her that she'll probably beat me if she can get it done before April when I go back to Ohio. So there's your challenge, Rainy. Can you beat me or not? Let's see. It's her whip go call this month, so she'll probably get more done than she thought. Okay, so now we're up to February. February whip go numbers were 7 and 11. 7 is Simple Pleasures, and 11 was my Star Wars piece. So since I already showed you Simple Pleasures, you just know the starting point for that. I haven't worked on it at all yet because I dove right into Star Wars. It is it's a dimensions kit, and it's Luke and Princess Leia. Oof, there you go. And I'm working on the words Star Wars. And yesterday I put in an hour and a half and I got the A and the R done, and I just plugged in getting ready to start on the other R. So I'm not taking this out of the hoop because I plan on working on it afterwards, but you get the idea. So this one's been fun. Last night actually was funny. I took it in the truck with me when we were out getting some car stuff for Ken, and it was starting to get dark, and I was like, I have black fabric. This isn't gonna last very long. So I got 30 minutes in then, and then when we got home, I got another hour. So that feels good. I got that kind of underway, and so yeah, I guess we're on to the big one. This is for the Wheel of Stitches, and I spun 1,500 stitches. I didn't know that the wheel would like the big numbers so much. I put in some big ones just to challenge me, but there's some lower numbers, like 500, like for the whole month. And I was like expecting to be able to bank a lot of stitches, like to go over my goal. That's probably not gonna happen. So Angie selected my Grand Library, the Grand Library Supersize Max Color, Aimee Stewart from Heavenandearthdesigns. And I was so excited. I wanted to start working on it before February, but I was good. I waited. But the morning of the 1st, I brought it out and I finished my Royal Row. So this was super confetti heavy. There's like 100 plus colors just like right here in this 150 color block. So this is at 17,093 stitches out of 715,284 stitches. It's at 2.39%. Now, you all have heard me talk about this over and over and over, I'm sure, but I'm using CXC threads. This is 28 count easy guide, and it's just too thick. Like, I'll actually show you my back. You probably can't see how thick that is, but it's carpet, and if you've done any Aimee Stewart, you know it's carpet. It was really hard for my needle to get through with the CXC being 2/110. It was so thick. It was like doing 2/1 full cross with DMC on 28 count, and that's not acceptable. Like, I can't cope with that. Now, no offense, if you guys can, you might have better fingers than me, but I could not pull the needle out. Like, I had to grab those rubber thimble tips to grip to pull the needle out. It was really difficult. So that's probably why this hasn't come out since November, because I was just struggling to get it through. I had the idea the other day to try 1/110, which is usually what you don't go towards that unless you're doing like a 32 to 40 count range. But I thought, let's just give it a shot. Let's try. And I did it on these little pink lanterns or flowers. I don't know what they are, but the coverage is great. And I even got to experiment. There's really dark colors in here. There's 939 in here. And I think I can do this. I can handle this. The bulk will be cut down in half. Thread usage will be cut down in half. I think I'm really going to enjoy it a lot more. It's pulling through a lot smoother. So thank you guys for giving your input on that on Instagram when I put up the picture. A few of you noticed what I had noticed as well, is the coverage is not 100% what the other one was, but I think when it's all together it'll look fine, and then again with washing it it'll tighten up a little more. And then I also had the idea, if there's chunks of like 939 or 310, which in Aimee Stewart there's not usually much, if it seems thin I'll just go through twice to make it a 2-strand. I think that will help fill that out more. So and since I can't tell a difference between having 2-strand to 1-strand, I think I can go back and forth pretty well. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm stoked to be able to put 1,500 stitches at least in this month. So far I have 200. I think yesterday I did 211 or something. So that didn't even budge the percentage mark even into the hundredths. So that shows how big this project is. Like in my whip parade, if you want to see how big it is, I have it out and it's like bigger than I am. And that was a little overwhelming, but I love it. Like I'm not gonna put it away just because it's big. I was just leaving it in timeout for a while just because I wasn't sure what to do. Like last resort was to switch over to DMC, and I thought with the dye lots, even as far as I've gotten, it could look very different in that corner. So I'm glad I was able to figure out how to use CXC. I have a great system, an organization system, which actually let me grab. So I have a shoebox that I filled with baggies and then labeled the symbol and the floss number, and I have designated whatever the word is. Anyways, I basically said this is CXC floss, this is DMC floss, because there's a couple in there that I have that are DMC because they wanted so many skeins of it, and I thought it would be easier to just go with DMC and have those skeins ready to go. So I have a shoebox with all those colors, 239 colors. And then I have these cards, these floss drop cards. And it has all the numbers. And then I actually need to go through, because what I've done is I've highlighted the colors where they won't ever need refilled again. That's all the color you need. But what I've done is basically just done 2 lengths of the 6 strands of floss and loaded them on these cards, each number. So it looks a little bit of a mess, but they're not that tangled, it's fine. So everything I have is right here, compact, works to go in my project bag. And as I use up a number, I go back into my shoebox and I grab another 2 lengths of floss and load it on the card. And so that's helped me deal with the massive amount of floss that this project calls for. It's almost like you need a whole organization system just for this project, and then one system for all of the other projects. So let me know if that helps you or not. Like, I think that was the thing that overwhelmed me the most with doing a supersize max color. It's not that the fabric was large, it was that I was working with 240 colors. And there for a while, I had this shoebox next to me on the couch, and I was like digging through and filing through, getting out, opening the baggie, grabbing the thread, and then if it's confetti, you're putting that back in the baggie and throwing it back in the shoebox, and it was just so time consuming. So this is my solution to that. So yeah, but anyways, I need to actually go through and do another highlighter color and go back and consult with my list and designate that color for DMC, because I do have several of those and I want to make sure that's differentiated on these cards. So there's that. I think that's everything. I do want to shout out a couple people, but I think the only one I can think of right now the tattooed stitcher, Jordan, I think. I've been watching her lately, and she's so fun, and she's like just discovered Soda Stitch, and like she's been going crazy. She's just been blazing through those, and it makes me want to start one so bad, but I'm gonna hold off as long as I possibly can. Like, I do not need another world to jump into that pool. Right? But they're adorable, and I love living vicariously through her and Bernadette from Burn Stitches. They actually both did a Sal with a Soda Stitch, and it's so cute. They're adorable. They're these cute little chubby animals, and they're like cooking in a kitchen. It's so cute. So go watch Jordan. She's been fun. I love discovering her. And I know there's a few more. I'll just, hopefully I can write them down and put them in my next Flosstube, because I think I have 3 more girls that I've just found. So stay tuned for that one. I hope you guys have a great February. Happy Valentine's Day, and it doesn't have to be for couples. Just, you know, love on the family members that you have and your pets, and just, you know, start using that heart emoji this month. A lot more. So I love you guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.